It's another Warped, the non-essential Star Trek podcast. I'm Aaron.
I'm Sean.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jake. Philippe.
Minwin.
Wow.
Whooopieeee. Whooopieeee indeed.
Whooopie. Is it a Whooopie
Clues.
episode?
I'm laying down clues, you guys.
What does that allude to?
Us.
She's just happy to be
Yeah.
here.
Whooopie.
Right. All right.
What are we watching today, Aaron?
The Best of Both Worlds, Part 2.
Part 2.
What is
Starting season 4, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to season
A
4.
new season.
It's been so long.
At this point, this becomes the longest running Star Trek show, right?
Yes.
Because the first show only had 3 seasons.
3 seasons.
They did it.
But they had 3 seasons of 80 episodes each season. So when you do the math,
Yeah.
it's complicated.
Halfway through this season, we'll be about halfway through the show.
Yep. That is correct.
I know you guys are excited to get back into Star Trek, but I feel like we haven't talked about Zardoz.
Yeah, we didn't really
Yeah,
talk about it
like-
during Zardoz. Has anybody have some reflection?
I got
reminiscence?
45 minutes and 51 seconds on the clock, and I'm punching the triangle in 3, 2, 1, punch.
We're just going to stuff Zardoz.
Are you just ixnaying any Zardoz chat?
It's like
Well, I didn't want to, Aaron had some problems last time, and I didn't want to.
How
I had
much more is
problems.
there to say about Zardoz?
I don't know, man. It was kind of, we talked about it a little bit after like
We talked
more
about it
after
a lot.
Yeah. After the show ended, we were still sort of thinking about it.
It sticks with you.
It does, because there's so many questions about why.
Yeah, there are so many whys.
I have a Zardoz connection in the next episode. We could just tease that out.
Oh.
Yeah.
There are some whys, some hows.
Yeah.
Locutus of Borg seems pretty cool, you guys.
Yeah.
We were calling him Locutie aboard. He's a little cutie.
So does everyone remember what happened? In case you didn't, they're showing you right now.
Yeah.
It's smart
recap.
because it's been a summer.
Yeah, and there's been a Zardoz.
It had been
between.
3 whole months in the real world.
Yes.
Anticipation was high for this season
Yes, it
premiere.
was.
Everyone
Big
was
time-
very excited.
Big time cliffhanger
Yep.
Right.
at the end of. And this is really the first sort of multi-episode
Yes.
arc of Star Trek.
Except, apart from the first episode, which was.
Well, but it premiered as one episode.
Oh, that's right.
It gets broken into 2 now.
Oh, okay. I don't
It was a
It was
2-hour pilot.
when they
yeah.
first showed it on TV.
I like it when they used to do that. It's like a 2-hour Greatest American Hero pilot or some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Did they have that?
I think so.
That's a
I
show
remember
that
it being
really
long.
needed long.
Yeah, it needed a lot of
Long
staging.
form.
Hey,
Needed
that's
a lot
of
of real estate.
There's some world building you got to do, you know?
All right.
Really? Was there?
Yeah.
I feel like that show just did the same thing every episode.
But that's because they took 2 hours to set everything up in
Yeah.
the first episode.
Perfect setup.
And then they could just roll with it, you know?
Sure.
It's like Quantum Leap. Like everything's set up perfectly in the first episode. You know everything you need to know, and you just move on.
So I've seen this episode many times. Sean, I know you've seen this episode.
Yes.
Aaron and Philippe, you guys watched it just recently for this, right? Mm-hmm. Do you remember this from before, Philippe? Did you remember it seeing it at
I
the
do
time?
remember it at the time.
Yeah.
In a very patronizing way. Aaron was like, "Were you super excited when this episode came on?" And yes, the answer is yes.
Yes,
I was.
of course we
I was
were.
super-
Yeah.
I was super excited. First
Every
of all,
nerd was very excited.
That's just my flat Midwestern affect.
That's what it is.
anyway, it was at the time there was very little sci-fi programming to consume, and the fact that this was actually really good and had made me wait 3 months.
Well, and
Well,
also,
Cliffhangers in
like,
those
unless
days.
you were watching shows like Dynasty and
Right.
Dallas, they didn't have cliffhangers
No.
at the
Yeah.
end
It's-
of seasons,
it's
you know?
yeah.
So, like, you've been waiting 3 months for this to come back.
I think one of the things that kind of caught me off guard was I didn't realize when I was watching it, the season 3 finale, that there was going to be a cliffhanger. Like
Sure.
Nobody did.
Yeah, so that was
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
yeah.
Were you really excited?
Yes.
I'm trying to do it without.
Can't you hear the excitement in our voices even now?
I was
I'm trying
super
to do it
excited.
without sarcasm. Okay, go on.
You did not. You did not.
I
succeed.
broke up.
You
Yeah.
did not
Yeah.
succeed.
They didn't advertise in advance the fact that it was going to be a cliffhanger, because this is, if you'll notice, the title of that episode is not Best of Both Worlds Part 1. It's just called Best of Both Worlds because they didn't want even the title to give away the fact that it was going to end on a cliffhanger. So you didn't know until it happened that was how they were going to end the season.
Whoa. Yeah.
And this might have just been me, but I never knew when like an episode was going to be the last episode of the season because my awareness of like where in the season we were,
how TV worked.
Yeah, it was just less because there was less like there was no internet to sort of.
Yeah, of course.
Nobody was really.
You had to have a periodical.
Yeah, you would have to like look at the TV guide.
You had to get TV Guide,
and then you'd have to look at it. I just knew when Star Trek was on, and that was what I would like sort of. I would show up and like they would like
there it was.
It would either be a new episode or a rerun, and that was the extent of what I knew. So when it was like, and then there was like a part 2, like they left it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, you didn't buy TV Guide to use as a TV guide. You bought it for the interview with Tony Danza,
Right.
And the crossword puzzle.
Man, I used to
on Who's the Boss.
I used to read TV Guide
love
cover to
TV
cover.
Guide.
What?
We had one that came with
I
our
was into
newspaper.
TV when I was a kid.
You know they have
Yeah.
it. It's all magazine size now.
Yeah, it's too big.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if it still exists.
I don't know. A few years ago,
does.
it still did.
I used to be in the
Remember
checkout.
when it was like the best selling periodical, and the guy like there'd be a guy who
Well, if
owned
you
TV
need
Guide,
it.
or maybe it was him and Reader's Digest that were always like vying for the most read periodical.
Reader's Digest claimed to be the most widely made, distributed magazine in the world.
Right,
Like, that
and,
was
and then
that was
TV
always their big
I just
brag.
also remember like the TV Guide guy also being like, no, TV Guide is the most.
More people read TV Guide.
And then like they would, and every once in a while, some show like during the daytime would like, or even in the evening would go to one of their mansions, and they were like huge, and you were just like that sweet TV Guide money.
There was a time when you could become incredibly rich by making magazines.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like you would see the Reader's Digest guys like mention, and you would read Reader's Digest with a newfound sense of respect. Like I would look at that laughter is the best medicine, and like think, maybe this is fucking funny, and I just don't know. You know?
Right. My grandmother got Reader's Digest. I think everybody's grandmother got Reader's Digest,
mine
right?
did.
And so that was how I would read. Whenever I was at grandma's house, I would read the
In the
Reader's
bathroom, right?
Digest
While you're
because-
pooping, often. That's what it for me was. Like that's where the Reader's Digest ended up in our house.
It's time to shine.
It's time to shine because
Snippets.
they were snippets. They were
Yeah.
like
Right. It was.
You're digesting,
It was
it's
designed.
digesting.
It was designed to be read on the toilet.
Yeah.
Because it took exactly the length of one poop
Yeah.
to read like one part of the
short
Reader's
story.
Digest.
I know.
Sure.
Every once in a while, they'd have a 2-pooper in there, and you're like, "Wow, I don't know if I'll ever get to that." I mean, that's
That's
a
the Reader's
commitment.
Digest version of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly.
Cliffhanger.
I mean, that's what I call those. The poops.
That's what I call it when I need 2 segments.
That's a double fun.
Maybe you just need more fiber.
Yeah.
That's what that Reader's Digest article said. But
Yeah.
If you get all the way to the end of a 2-pooper
You're not done yet.
and you're not done yet,
Time to see a
It says
doctor.
at the end of the article, please
Yeah.
consult your physician.
Oh, there
Anyway,
he is.
what's happening on Star
yeah.
Trek?
Can I give this? We never did the specs.
Do the
Let me get it real
specs.
quick.
Please.
Best of Both Worlds Part 2, Season 4, Episode 1. Original air date September 22nd, 1990. Having absorbed Captain Picard and his knowledge, the Borg head for Earth, leaving Riker and the Enterprise desperate for an unanticipated way to defeat them. Mm-hmm. Aaron, you watched the episode. Mm-hmm. And what do you think the IMDb rating is?
I love how dead in his
You
eyes.
have to
he
watch
looks.
the single tear falling from his eye to really.
I know. He looks dead in
accurately-
the eye, but then he's got the
single
Visine
tear,
right
yeah.
there.
That's how good an actor Patrick Stewart is.
Yeah.
He can make one tear fall
one
off
tear.
the side of his face.
I'm going to guess it's highly rated. I'll give it a 9.
nice.
Anybody else?
8.4.
What was the last one rated?
It was rated 9.4.
And I think this one is considered not quite as good as that
Right.
one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's a 9.1.
I was going to say 9 too, actually.
I'll say 8.9.
9.3.
Hey, good for you, Star Trek.
Just a point.
It was just 0.1, not as
They're
good as the
like-
last one.
Well, it's probably not as good, but man, the excitement, anticipation for this episode probably carried it a little.
I think
I mean,
so.
it's a tough spot because you're
It's a
like,
good episode. It's a very good episode. It's very hard for the payoff
Yeah.
to be as good as the build
yeah,
up, right?
for sure.
And I think it's really funny that after all that huge build up, right? He's going to fire the super weapon. And then this episode starts with them firing the super weapon and
goes,
literally nothing
nothing
happens.
happened. It didn't
It's
work.
just a huge fizzle. Like after all of that build up, it just goes bloop, bloop, and like nothing happens.
Well, I think this suffers from like what a lot of
It's a little anticlimactic.
what a lot of great things are like shows are when they build up to basically an impossible foe that is so clever and so
Right.
smart, and then
Right.
when they actually have to defeat them, they have to kind of make them have like some weird like oversight that like you're like,
Well, it's the idea of how do you defeat Superman, right?
right.
Yeah.
You got to come up with some weirdo way
Yeah.
to stop the thing that's so powerful you,
You gotta
can't stop it.
give them all a big nap.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I actually like the solution that they come up with.
I
in
liked
this
it much
episode.
more when I was
You have
First
to slip
watch it-
Benadryl in their sippy cup.
yeah, and I mean I think like
Is that what you're doing with your kids?
I mean, it works, and there's no law against it. Oh, wait, I'm hearing there is a law.
There might actually be a lot.
Yeah, well, I guess California, nanny state.
Nanny state.
I wish it were a nanny state.
I know, somebody needs to take care of our kids.
It'd be great to have a nanny.
Yeah, right? That sounds good.
Yeah, but it's about Fran
Yeah.
Drescher running the state from behind the scenes, right?
So,
Yeah.
Min,
From behind the curtain.
you've never seen this, or you?
No, I
not
don't think. Yeah, I don't
recently.
think I remember this.
Jake, do you remember?
you would
this
remember that.
episode?
Yeah. It was good.
Oh,
It was
Wow. she
Riker's
really,
made amends with Lady Commander, so we don't.
Did you guys watch Star Trek together as brothers, or were you not allowed to sit next to your brother because he didn't want you anywhere near him?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember it being part of a routine. It was just coincidence that I happened to watch a bunch. I don't know. There's no plan to it
Yeah,
that I can recall.
no plan.
Min, do
sounds
you
right.
want to know what's going on?
Yeah.
In the episode,
Always
you need
do.
a little
Yeah.
plot summary.
Riker has made
Aaron,
amends
you
with
wanna
the
do
Lady
it?
Commander, so we don't hate her anymore.
You want to tell Min what's going on in the episode?
Yeah, let's have Jake tell him.
I was going to make Aaron do it.
Oh, God. Yeah.
That's not gonna.
So the big super
Riker
weapon.
and what's her name have made amends.
That's true.
Yeah.
Go on. Don't
Yeah.
let me interrupt. Go on.
The big super weapon that they thought was going to work didn't work.
Right.
So now and it blew out their engines in the process. So not only did it not work on the Borg, it fucked them up
Right. they're
instead.
behind.
Yeah.
So now the Borg are on their way to Earth, and the Enterprise is kind of stuck.
Can't do anything about
They
it.
can't do anything until the engines are repaired. Riker is now captain, and he made up with Commander Shelby,
Made her,
and she is now
gave him
he's
his
just
job.
now is promoting her to first officer.
over
Over Data, who would
would
be the next in line.
And she's already tired of being called the old Riker.
They told her that you have to start sitting in chairs when you pull the Riker maneuver to sit down.
No,
It's required
she can do
at
her
that
own thing.
position.
No. They're doing a lot of tech talk right now. I don't know if you guys are.
They're trying to figure out if there's a way to get to save Jean-Luc or to stop the Borg. They've basically written off Jean-Luc at this point. They're treating him as if he's dead.
No,
Yeah.
they're not.
And in case that doesn't sink in, Whoopi comes in. and
Whoopi's
tells him-
gonna come
he's
in and
dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was looking, the one thing I saw in the IMDb trivia, and maybe you know this, Matt, that the reason why they came up with this was that they weren't sure if Patrick Stewart was going to sign on for a fourth season.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
And so they left it so that if he didn't, they could just kill him. Or if he decided to sign on, they figure out a way to save him and bring him
Oh,
back.
that's how you get a cliffhanger in the 90s.
Yep. Contract
Keep 'em
negotiation.
guessing.
Contract negotiations.
On screen, no less.
So a lot of this episode is about Riker sort of coming to grips with the fact that he is now the captain and has to like step up and become a leader. And Whooopiee's here to like lay some sense down for Will.
How was Whoopi in this episode?
Great, as always.
Yeah,
she always
perfect.
has like a few minutes of just
Amazing.
I like how she just comes in and
She comes in and sits in his chair.
yeah, he's all reverent about it, but she's like, this is where I usually sit.
yeah.
Look, he doesn't have a shell on his wall this week. He has an agate.
No, there's a
stone or
conch
something.
there too.
Oh, it is?
It's behind Whoopi.
And a Nautilus. I think he has. I saw the Nautilus.
yeah, I mean that's what I meant. The Nautilus.
But Picard likes his geodes as well.
Yeah.
He's just a
Well, it
naturalist.
looks like petrified wood.
Interesting. You're right. I think you're right.
Jesus.
It could be a geode or it could be petrified, but it looks like petrified wood to me.
Just saying.
And polished petrified wood.
You know, things have names.
Yeah.
Words have meanings.
Yeah, exactly.
People.
Exactly.
That's what Matt's always telling us.
Love her outfit.
First corroborating
I do
evidence.
love the outfit.
Yeah,
Wow,
she
that-
looks great.
That's a great hat.
I like that hat a lot.
The hat- she
That's
should
one of
wear
her
that.
better hats.
She should wear that more often.
This is a good set. Yeah, this is a good future costume.
Yeah.
Because it also looks comfortable. Like,
And stylish, but different.
Yeah, because it's got this nice
I like
sparkly
that
sash across
I was
it.
actually thinking about it, just how cool it is that she gets to wear that stuff rather than it just being, I don't know,
Yeah, like the
more
uniform.
traditional, like
Jumpsuits and-
nice looking women wear, you know?
Yeah. I wonder what her casual leisure wear is then.
I wonder
That is
swimwear.
it.
I think she's wearing
What about
it.
swimwear? What is Guinan
Like-
go swimming with?
She's kicking butt right now, by the way, in her
Yeah,
chat.
she's just telling him, "You got to get over it. You got to be captain."
And she's
right
saying,
now.
like, he basically means more to me than anyone.
yeah.
Right. She's saying like Picard meant more to me than he means to anybody else, and I'm letting him go. So
Yeah.
you have to let him go too.
In order to do your job
order
and,
to-
like, get
Yeah.
it done right.
I mean, she doesn't really have to let him go to work in 10 Ford even better, but she's doing it.
Well, she clearly doesn't need to be on the Enterprise. She's there because she likes
Right.
Picard.
Yep.
And she-
Yeah.
She has 0 eyebrows, doesn't she?
Yeah,
I never
she has
thought
no
about
eyebrows.
that. Ever? On this show?
I don't remember.
That's interesting. I never really thought about it, but it's kind of obvious.
She doesn't even need them.
She doesn't need them.
Yeah, I didn't even actually notice until you said
Right?
something.
Just the way the light was shining was like, huh.
Well, sit in that chair, Riker. You got it.
I mean, it's going to be awkward when they rescue Jean-Luc and Will has to move all of his shit out of
Yeah.
out of the captain's
He has to move his
cabin.
petrified
They moved
wood
him
off
to-
of the-
Can you imagine the first time
Up the
John Luke sat
credenza.
down in the chair and he's like,
But
butt dent is out of
No.
order.
Somebody else has been sitting.
there
in
are
this
micro
chair.
hairs in this butt end.
Someone's been putting their leg over the top of my chair as they sat down. I can
That's
feel it.
that's how much leisure time he gets in this episode. You know?
Well,
He's
it's
he
like-
sat down in the chair and he's like,
Yeah,
well, back to
gotta get back up. Well, I mean, I guess she's assuming it's gonna, like, Picard's gone, but it's also sort of like you have to let him go in order to just do
the
your
job.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it could end up working out.
I'm a
which,
little
spoiler.
disappointed he didn't do the Riker leg toss over the captain's chair.
He's,
It was a bit. It would have been
it's
a
not
high.
yeah.
So now we're seeing the ramifications of.
So they showed up to where the fight was, but they showed up too late, and the fight has already happened.
And there's a bunch of
the shit ton of starships, Starfleet ships, have been totally wiped out by
Yeah.
the Borg.
I think we
Let's
should
make them all stand up and stare.
we should all think about all the names they didn't pick for ships. They got the Tolstoy, the Kyushu, the Melbourne. I'm just like, what didn't make it onto the
Right.
the Roddenberry?
Yeah, you don't want to destroy the Roddenberry.
Yeah.
That would be sacrilege. Come on.
the Hirohito.
No, but I mean, like, are you sure? Like the Sandler, the I don't know, the Belushi.
Sandler.
Who's gonna be canonized from our age? Why is it all from
The USS Oprah.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are the legends of our time?
Who are the legends of our time? Vastly, like, why is it like Tolstoy? What about Mary Higgins Clark?
It's this classic Star Trek thing where in the world of the Federation, it's like culture stopped in like the late 1940s,
Right.
and then skipped 300 years
Yes,
ahead.
nothing happened.
And nothing happened in
Yeah.
between.
I know.
Because like Picard likes 1930s detective novels.
yeah.
Like they all, Riker
Yeah.
likes jazz.
I
Like
know.
a 400-year-old musical genre
Yeah.
by that point.
I
None
know.
of the people on the ship listen to Green Day.
Yeah, or
Right.
dubstep.
Yeah, because everything stopped.
I mean, if Picard was into dubstep, now that would be something.
That'd be awesome.
Well, there is a more recent discovery, and do they update those characters' tastes and?
Not really. They just kind of avoid making any sort of contemporary
Yeah.
references.
It's all references to like alien culture. I
Right.
think.
If they want to make a reference, they make something up. They don't use a real thing.
They don't want to be trapped in.
it just dates it, I think, is the reason to avoid
Yeah.
it.
What about when they have to
agreed.
do two reels and a fake?
They use old things
Yeah.
for the reels.
They're always old. They're always,
Yeah.
It's always Beethoven, Bach, and Locutus of Borg.
His brief stint as a composer.
Yeah. He was into dubstep.
He dabbled in classical music.
Well, he was
And
on
dubstep.
there.
I mean, that would be in character for him, honestly. If, if he secretly had a side ambition to be a classical composer.
I will help you defeat the Federation, but I'm also going to expand your musical tastes while I'm
exactly.
He likes classical music. He listens to it all the time. They've divided the ship. They've split the bridge.
I don't think they have. They are going to.
Oh, they're going to.
I
Yeah.
don't think they have.
Because he's in the battle bridge
right.
now.
Their plan is to split it.
And what are those armbands?
They're gonna send them over to the Borg ship, right?
Oh, so they can keep track of them.
I forget what the little things on their shoulders were supposed
Something
to
about the
So
transporter.
that they can find them
to
real quick as soon as
beam
they've
them
got
back.
it.
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting moment where Riker has to face down.
Does the number of tubes on his head change?
Yes. They add more.
Yeah, okay. Because like in the
More
first
tech
one.
gets added the longer you're with them.
I see. Because I thought it was like one tube in the beginning. And I was like, that's a reasonable amount of tubes to have. And then now it's like at least 3 tubes and a wire.
So what Whoopi was telling him, because he's saying, I don't know how to beat a Borg that has all of Jean-Luc's knowledge, right? And she's like, if Jean-Luc, you have to think of things he wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah.
Basically, you have to try some bad ideas.
Right. You have to start thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
3 tubes and a wire.
I'm assuming that's the exact same shot of the ship separating that was used in the pilot.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not going to make that shot.
3 tubes and a wire. My time as Locutie of Borg, a memoir by Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah. A memoir into my musical symphony.
Was there any good things about being a Borg? Well, I did compose these 17 classics.
Somebody just wrote, Paramount or whoever publishes these books, somebody just wrote a quote unquote autobiography that's supposed to be written by Spock.
Oh, nice.
So Jean-Luc could write a memoir.
Is it just all about the Ponfar years?
It's
It's like I had Ponfar, and then 7 years happened, and then
and then I had Ponfar again.
tells the story of that Ponfar.
You don't want to hear about it.
Yeah. A bridge to Ponfar. Yeah.
In between Ponfars, you would laugh at me for the things I said were fascinating when they really weren't.
When I was watching this the other day, I really liked that shot that they just do in the shuttlecraft where it's such a simple trick, but it really makes it look like it's moving because they're not moving, but the screen behind them is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the way they light their faces with their flashes. It's a pretty immersive shot for a Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like, they spent a little bit more time on this one.
I think they did. I think that, the show was a big hit by this point. So I think they had more money and,
I mean, that's a pretty good screen.
Yeah, the
shot.
screen's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, they had to build a whole... I mean, I don't feel like the shuttle ever looked this good.
Yeah.
In any of the other, it's always was pretty pared down before.
So Riker has come up with this sort of elaborate, frankly, plan, right? To get Jean-Luc. Is that what they're trying to do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're trying to
Yeah,
get
they're
him
trying to
bring him
kidnap
back.
I just watched this a couple of weeks ago, and I can't remember what happens in it. It's been a long weekend, you
I
guys.
feel like it's always weird to me, how passive they are inside the... I mean...
I like that because it just makes them feel very robotic,
There's-
right? They just don't care. They just don't react
And super powerful, like they don't care. if
Right,
you're
like
not-
it doesn't even matter.
They're
'cause
like
you can't-
Amazon.
You can't do anything to us anyway.
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
They'll just
They
overwhelm
don't
you
care if
eventually.
you buy your stuff somewhere else. They really don't.
No.
They're not worried about it.
They know the numbers are on their side.
Look how big that thing is.
Well, here's the thing.
know.
I don't
That
understand
thing
about
they
the Borg.
strapped to his arm
I mean, I
is-
know it's convenient, but they really should start chopping off people's hands when they put them on because it is an inconvenient length.
Yeah, and I think they usually do. Like, I think they were just like, we're not going to show them cutting off Patrick Stewart's hand.
Yeah.
It didn't even need to be that long, though. It's like an entire extra arm length.
I always feel like those things, they seem much less efficient than fingers.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
you would be better off just keeping your hand.
What is it? Just like a fancy like screwdriver? Is
Yeah,
it like
it's
one
a
of
multi-tool.
those,
It is a
like-
multi-
It's like a Leatherman or something.
Yeah.
It can do all kinds of things.
I think it really
It
shows.
can fix your
that they're
eyeglasses.
Yeah.
I feel like it really shows they're defeatable.
It's got a little tiny.
thing?
It's got a little tiny magnifying glass.
Yeah, it's got all those things.
Yeah, you
But
need
the scissors are the cutest.
You need the Borg with the can opener attachment. You still have to wait like 15 minutes for him to walk over there.
Yeah, exactly. Because you only get 12
He's got a
attachments.
toothpick.
Oh my god, he's so proud of himself.
He's pleased with himself that his plan worked.
I mean, that's cool.
I like the lounge lighting that they have on the bridge right now. It's very like chill. Well,
Yeah.
okay, maybe not.
You mean the battle
Yeah,
bridge.
I meant the
Battle
battle
bridge.
bridge. Yeah, that's
They're
what I
trying
meant.
That's how you know it's the battle bridge because it's very dark and serious on the battle
Are
bridge.
they just trying to
That'd be a good
preserve-
club setting right
There's
there.
no fun to be found on the battle bridge.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Look at that lighting. That's awesome lighting.
You're like, I'm ready to boogie. Somebody play some
boom.
tunes.
Yeah.
I'm ready to Borgie.
He's ready to dubstep.
Borg step.
Borg step.
Oh my god.
Do the Borg step.
It's like with that big old arm flailing around. I can see it. We can make
Your one arm just
You got to stick your arm inside of a tube, then wave it around.
Oh my god, it makes doing the robot so simple with that name.
Yeah, they'd be good at that. Working the broom.
I don't think you can scratch your ass with that thing. It's just too long.
And it doesn't bend. So
Well, that's the advantage. You didn't have to go to the bathroom
Lawnmower.
one time because the suit takes care of all that.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
oh, are they going to take it off?
But
No, no.
But Reader's Digest blocked that technology because they knew that would be the end. Oh shit! They got this thing where you don't even have to go to the bathroom anymore. Kill it.
Yeah, it's true.
That big Reader's Digest
Back when
money.
they had that money.
People no longer need to read a short excerpt from a new autobiography of Lyndon Johnson.
If they don't have any reason, what's our purpose of existence?
Yeah.
Wait,
If people don't poop anymore.
Something told from the perspective of a dog on like Lindbergh's plane. Man, that was gonna be so good.
I'd read that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for 7 minutes.
That sounds good.
Did TV Guide have articles too, or no? It was just-
Yeah.
Interviews with celebrities.
It was all celebrities.
They go to TV
Puff
sets
pieces.
and talk
I
to the
see.
people on the set of a
Yeah,
show.
it was not hard-hitting journalism.
What's the
Although
whirligig?
every once in a while it would be like
love his little-
if there was something big going on in like the world of TV.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would write like actual like reporting, and that was always very exciting because it was so out of character for them. Like
I feel like there
we're
was
skipping the Lonnie Anderson interview this
Yeah.
week, and instead
I was looking
reporting
forward to
on
that.
OJ trial.
Yeah.
Locutus did have a cool, like, spinny
Yeah, what's that thing?
satellite
It's just part
Disney.
of this tech, man.
Yeah, that's like satellite TV. Direct TV right there.
That's how he gets Reader's Digest plugged straight into his brain.
even though this is supposed to be like the one continuous thing from the last episode, right? It's actually several months later. So some of the things like Beverly's hair is a little different, but you would only notice it if you watched one episode,
Yeah.
right up then
She
next
used
to the
some
other.
sun in over
I think
the
that's
summer.
one of the things that TV had like a lot more ability to do because like you would just not remember.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And there was no way to go back.
Yeah.
So you would just, you wouldn't notice changes like
You might have caught the rerun right at
how
the end of
Beverly's
the
hair is a
summer.
different length 5 episodes in a row.
Unless you're a heavy VCR family.
Yeah, there were families
You
like
have
that.
to have a lot of tapes
but-
to.
Oh my god,
some
we
people
were
were.
a heavy
All that.
VCR family.
People had a lot of tapes.
I
man.
knew a guy who had every episode of Star Trek Next Generation recorded off of the television,
Wow.
edited, like he cut out the commercials.
Damn.
That is so much work on a VCR.
He put
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 episodes on each tape, and he had them categorized, like labeled.
I mean, this is literally like sounds like ancient history when you say it. Like,
know,
it's
right?
like
Yeah.
so weird.
if you tried to explain that process to someone who's under the age of 20,
I mean, you're
they
talking
would
like
just be like
the
completely
scrolls at the
baffled.
Library of
It would be like
Alexandria.
it would be like describing, exactly,
I know.
the Sanskrit or
Yeah,
something.
Exactly.
The ships are still separated, or no? They're back together.
They've got back
We
together.
got to act together.
They're trying.
I don't even remember why they split. There was some. There
Oh,
was
it
some
was
trying
like
to
a
get
tie-in
two
with
targets.
friends. They were on a break. I don't know. It's hilarious.
There was some kind of strategic reason they did that.
I think
but
it was
can't
to give
remember what
them
it
2
is.
targets.
Yeah, it was part of like the unorthodox plan that Picard wouldn't
Couldn't
really
anticipate.
Yeah.
Oh my
even
god.
Though, even though they just fought like a fleet
Yeah.
of ships. It
it's
was like,
one more target.
Right.
I can't handle this. What's going
that's
on?
the thing that drove me crazy.
Yeah,
like
the
on
board-
later rewatches, is like, wow, they have 2 targets now, but they just fought a fleet of ships.
If shooting at 2 things at once is something that the Borg can't do,
Like,
they
no.
are a lot less of a threat than we were told.
I know they can, but they can't do it well. Okay. And then and then there's a little part
Look
that
at-
kind
I
of
love
annoys
this.
me when like
Yeah, plug
when
it
they go
in.
get past.
Oh yeah, I like it when there's nothing on
Yeah,
underneath.
how did
the-
they get that off?
This is the same
naked.
chamber he kept his daughter
This
in.
is the cybernetics lab.
I don't think this is medically necessary, you guys. I think Crusher's just having a good time.
Crusher's just like, I've
Crusher's-
always wanted to see
Yeah.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
excuse me, dog. He didn't have to take his. He has to take his clothes off.
Beverly's like, I've been waiting for this moment.
I would have taken the codpiece off, but it just wouldn't.
Data's pretty funny. Everybody's like, why isn't it working? And he's like, I don't know. I've never done this before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do you want to try hooking up to your head?
Yeah.
See how you do.
Screeny.
Patrick looks pretty good with his shirt off, you know?
Yeah, sure.
That's great.
Surprisingly hairy.
I don't know. I'm not surprised.
You were
by it.
expecting a less hairy
I don't
chest.
know. I've seen a lot of deep V-necks on that man.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Any of
We've
his leisure
we've
wear.
definitely seen the upper third of his chest
Yes.
before.
He would have been great in
This bothers
Zardoz.
me.
His
There's
vacation
three-
wear.
this is the
was
entire
wondering.
like Earth. Like these are the outer perimeter defenses.
They're like, we're sending out everything we got.
3 ships.
I'm like, no wonder that Borg aren't being challenged.
It's a peaceful future, man. They don't keep a lot of shooting things.
Send out Farmer Steve and his 2
That's
sons.
the
in
worst
there.
case scenario. They've been on like
Right.
Klingons and Romulans and like for years and years, and that's what they got left.
The entire fleet is 3 ships.
I mean, if they sent like maybe twice as many, that might have worked.
right.
Well, how many were destroyed in the battle?
They took out a bunch of the big.
Like
they took out a
5.
bunch of the big
They
ships.
took out the Tolstoy, the Kyushu,
I guess we didn't call out the fact that
The
one of the ships
Melbourne.
was the
the
Melbourne.
iCarly.
And that was the one that Riker was supposed to be in command if he had accepted that.
Yeah. Oh, right. The USS Cosgrove,
USS Cosmo.
The Miranda
named
Cosgrove.
after Miranda. 21st century icon Miranda
Yeah.
Cosgrove.
The Montana. Oh, after
Yay.
the state. No,
No.
Hannah Montana.
I want to make a TV show that's set in the future, but all of their references are of things that have happened this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
It's pretty significant.
Ooh.
They're just, it's like 400 years in the future, and they're making references to like Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, exactly.
So Data is trying to like mind
Hack
meld with him, basically. Yeah, hack in.
No, he's raising his multi-tool.
See, that's what it does. It does zappy things like that. Oh,
I wonder if it
also
feels
pretty good.
good.
Yeah.
It's like a good tickle scratch.
That's a shattered collarbone.
yeah, he hit that guy hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. You can't assimilate me,
Arm
motherfucker.
I
wrestling.
mean, God, the restless tool syndrome. That thing has. Like, stop moving. Like, you don't need to be moving.
Restless tools. I think there's a Droxine for that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. I just feel like weird that the Borg would need to have like all those display
You
lights.
take your Druxy.
Yeah.
It keeps
You got time for one pooper article. Straight to bed.
Oh my god. Can you imagine if you had that little thing moving above your eye line all day long? Jesus
couldn't see
Christ,
it.
you would go inside. If you could hear it or see it.
Oh, yeah, it does sound like it would be.
I always think
worrying.
it's funny when they show you the inside of Data's brain,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's literally just a bunch of little flashy lights.
Yeah.
Just going bleepity bleepity.
Yeah, I feel like there'd be just less lights going on.
I know. I feel like you would notice that normally under his hair. Like you just see the lights
It
all
kind
the
of
time.
feels like how computers today, like they get all these RGB light elements in there.
Too
It's like
many.
that's to show off,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's why you
it just is like I'm working.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like when you pretend to look busy.
exactly.
I've got
Then
my notebook.
I think you should have a
I've
glass
got my
skull.
furrowed brow.
You should have a glass head skin so I can see it all the time.
No one wants that. Not even people want that.
I don't know. Well, I'm just saying, like, why make it all Christmas in there?
I was gonna say it would be great for Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very.
You should decorate his head for seasons. I think that's what we're all saying. I like that he's even lighter
You could
than.
use some of that smoke juice,
Yeah.
like the fake fog
Yeah.
for Halloween. Could just be coming out of his skull.
How do you get out of those uniforms? Are they like? Are there's a zipper in the back?
There's a zipper in the back.
Okay, because I'm like, dude, if you're gonna make love, it's gonna be really unsexy. to
Remember
take
in
that
the
off.
original, in the old days, the zipper used to be in the front.
That
And that
makes
was very
sense.
distracting.
I know, but it makes sense if you want to take that shit
Yeah, but
off.
these are
But look how much better
they're
it
not
looks.
one piece. They're two pieces.
I know, but-
they don't even need to necessarily ends. I guess
Oh, if you get your head caught in the thing, that's got to be a major. That's the date's over. Like
Zipper and back is really hard to get on and
you need
off.
help. You
Yeah.
need help from a zipper in the back.
it's egalitarian. You know, everybody needs help to zip up their back instead of just the ladies.
Can you imagine Worf getting help to get his back, his zipper in his back? I don't know, man. I don't want to be.
I think the zipper
That's a
probably
trust.
zips itself. It's probably some kind of future zipper.
Self-zipping.
Yeah. They probably invented self-zipping zippers by
Nice.
That sounds like something that could go wrong.
2382.
You know, the great scientists Einstein and
That's what
Da
they were really
Vinci
spending.
and
Like when there was nothing else to
Zygor
do
3,
anymore. It's like,
inventor of
hey,
the quick fasten zipper.
we need this Oxford think tank to. We've got hunger and pretty much energy and matter. They're interchangeable now, but we need this new thing for you guys to work on.
A soundtrack album containing music from this episode, as well as from part 1, was released in 1990.
From L-apostrophe cutis.
Yep. That's a thing. That's a thing that doesn't happen anymore either. Soundtrack albums of TV
Yeah,
shows.
no, we did.
Did you listen to the soundtrack back?
No.
Then? No. Okay.
Sorry.
Nerd.
So disappointed.
Well, I know like video game soundtracks are huge nowadays. you
That's true. That's the modern day equivalent of it. That's what it is. I don't think TV shows have like big orchestral scores like this show does anymore.
No.
Maybe sci-fi show like does The Expanse. I don't watch The
know. I
Expanse.
don't
but
feel like it does.
No.
I don't think many shows even use orchestras anymore.
right.
It's all done digitally, I'm sure.
So this is it. This is coming down to the wire. The Borg are using their cutting beam.
They're using their cutting beam,
Yeah,
which works real well.
Yeah, it's slow, but it's thorough.
It's like the James Bond laser.
Yeah, it's really like James Bond's laser going up towards his like crotch and and then that one octa.
This is a very good episode.
This is a good episode.
Oh, what happened? Turned off.
So what they've done, Min, is Data has managed to hack in to Picard, right?
Hack the world, man! Yeah, Data.
And because Picard is still connected to the Borg, Data was able to use Picard as kind of a Trojan horse to get access to the Borg computer and ordered them to shut down, to go to sleep, essentially. Put them in sleep mode.
Yeah.
It's like when the cat steps on the power button on your PC. And you're like, what? Aw.
It happens once or twice a week.
The orchestra for this episode and for part 1 was double the size of that for normal episodes. 77 musicians. That's a big orchestra.
Yeah.
That's a big.
God.
What scale?
They were going for epic with these episodes.
I
right?
did actually, without even realizing that, and now in retrospect, I did note the music was more of a presence in this one. Like it was really like driving like a lot of the. I was like, whoa, they really like amped it up.
Yeah. They went all out on this.
You mean when you rewatched it, or just?
Yeah, when I rewatched it, I was just kind of like, wow, they have like a lot of the exterior shots. There was a lot of build up, really, like, and it was more. It had a more dominating presence.
Well, so now they're good now, right? Can they just run off?
They're good. They've managed to put them to sleep. So now they're just trying to figure out like how long is this going to work? Is this going to
Yeah. But something like this is the part I don't understand. Like they say, like I don't understand why they're about to self-destruct because of this. Like that's the one thing that kind of they lose me at. Like somehow this triggers a series of events that leads to the ship self-destructing.
Yeah, somehow Borg detected that it wasn't an authentic command or something like that, and so the Borg ship is going to self-destruct, and they're worried because Jean-Luc is still connected to the Borg mind, so they're worried what will happen to him when this Borg ship blows up.
Well, as a writer, this is a good way just to get rid of all of that fancy Borg technology,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was.
Threat.
Yeah, see, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like the Borg ship blowing up looks good.
Yep. Solid.
Oh, he's not naked. He's got a thing
Got the
on.
Borg codpiece on.
I don't. It's
Boy, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
really.
It kind of is because I feel like the Borg would not give a shit about that stuff.
You guys are just trying to like HBO Skinamax everything now.
I mean, it would have been an amazing Game of Thrones style, hardcore, hard-hitting science fiction.
Well, it looks supportive. Maybe it's just functional to have that tucked in a little bit.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
you
know.
have a lot.
You tell me.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
You
you want things tucked.
I don't
You want
know
things
much
tucked away when you're wearing all that like cybernetic.
Plus, they'd have to paint it that pasty white color.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. shot
That's
of
just
her.
Patrick Stewart's normal skin tone.
Yeah. Normally they paint the tan on him. This is all airbrushed here.
He's British.
Look at this whole healing look that he's got going.
Yeah, so they got the stuff off of him, but he's still got to.
but he's now really.
the rest down.
The cutest
Yeah.
Band-Aids.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got to.
I think he's really
They have
into
a
body
special
modifications
Borg.
now.
It makes me think Mike Tyson a little bit with his tattoo.
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
So is that why Riker doesn't leave at the show at this point? Is because they blew up the ship that he was supposed to become the captain of?
No, he just doesn't want to leave. He's just like, I was being pressured and I felt bad about saying no, so I never made a decision. But now he's just tired of all the bullshit. He's like, I just don't want to leave. This is where I belong. I belong with this captain in the ship
Yeah.
Right.
thing.
We're more powerful together.
No, very sweet.
Yeah.
He's done being bullied.
And there's
He's not letting that little blonde lady push him around anymore.
With that Denahation.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's got a fish in his tank this week.
yeah. There's a little bit of an ominous
Drinking a
sort
little
of.
bit of Earl Grey hot.
Oh, is he having like a moment?
He's got a moment. He's got a moment, and he looks out the window.
So what's good about this is that they didn't do what a worse show would have done, which is just have him be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And just never deal with it again.
Yeah.
Instead,
Like we're doing with Zardoz.
we're pretending it never happened.
Yeah.
Instead, this has like continuing repercussions,
Yeah.
like throughout the
season-
rest of the series and
Yeah.
into the movies. Like this experience with the Borg is like a major thing for Jean-Luc
it's a huge
that
trauma.
they come back to again and again.
Yeah.
In ways that are always kind of interesting to
Yeah.
me. So that's it. That's the end of Best of Both
Yeah.
Worlds, everybody.
He managed to save Jean-Luc, but he's a little bit off kilter.
I feel like my voice is a little weird sounding today because of how much talking I did last
little-
night.
yeah.
And then
You're a
the
little
Cthulhu
raspy.
game.
We
But
need
it's
another
good.
shot of the pumpkin
I feel a little
spice rum.
raspy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just need to coat it
There
with
you
that.
go.
In
Grease
fact,
it up.
Not only are there going to be repercussions throughout the rest of the series, there are repercussions next week
Yeah,
in the
this
very
is-
next episode,
Yeah, for
which
sure.
is sort of an unofficial part 3
Yes.
to this
Absolutely
storyline.
is.
We'll get to meet Jean-Luc's family. We'll get to meet Worf's Russian
Roshenkos.
parents, who are hilarious.
Yeah, that's
The
fun.
Roshenkos are coming.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun.
It's so much fun.
There's a boring Wesley subplot, but you can't have everything, I suppose.
Yeah.
Aaron, where can people find us if they wanted to?
On the internet.
Yeah, Google us.
Yeah,
I think we'll be a few pages. Click a few pages in.
Yep. Warped podcast.
I think if you
We're
Google
on.
Warped Podcast, we're the first
thing.
only hit.
Yes.
You can
At
go
Lunar
to
Flare.
You can go to rate, review, and subscribe.
I like the way your
Apple
mind works.
Podcasts, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts.
just going straight to the merch. You
Wet
know?
Maynard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember some?
You
of
can
the,
tell this is really rehearsed.
You can remember some of the code words, which is good. Like, lunar flare. Our email is warpedthepodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Warped Trek. Follow me at Host Warped. Follow Min to learn about our Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu live streams and podcasts at
Lunar Flare.
/wetmaynard.org.
Lunar Flare is Instagram.com, lunar_flare for links to our merchandise, including our Down to Ponfar t-shirt, which is a big bestseller. What else? That's it, right? Patreon.com
That's
/warp.
enough for today.
Patreon.com /warp to become a patron and get access to bonus material and additional episodes.
Yay.
Aaron, take us out.
Good night, everybody. I'm Erin.
I'm Sean.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jake. Philippe.
And I'm in win.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.